sure all of you would have enjoyed the video. This is what we mean, the opportunities that's available on the cloud. As a customer, how you can virtualize and take to the cloud and get the benefits of the cloud, at the same time protecting the investments what you have made. So VMware now in the next 20 minutes or 30 minutes presentation, I will talk about define the cloud, what is cloud, what we mean by the cloud. We'll take the definition from one of the renowned institute and go into how VMware solutions are fit into helping you in setting up your cloud. So just to give a brief on VMware as a corporate, today all of you we are a $3 billion company, and we are growing at around 30 to 35% on an annual basis. So this is a 2010 revenue. This year we are likely to be at $3.75 billion. So that's the estimate we have given. So the important thing which I want to drive here is that today the virtualization is adopted across the industry. So today we have already 250,000 customers who are using our technology and virtualizing their IT environment and reaping the benefits of it. And today you talk about Fortune 100 or Fortune 1000, any measurement you take, we have 99–100% of the market share over there. The customers are using that. How is it possible? Through our set of partners. I know there are a few partners over here. We are very conscious in terms of developing our partner ecosystem, which helps us to reach our customers, not only reaching but implementing our technology. So today we have 1,300 plus technology and consulting partners with whom we have the technology alliance. We make sure that irrespective of the platform what you are using, our technology and the solution works over there. Then we have 25,000 plus solution providers who are the channel partners who reach out to you in implementing those solutions. And if I say these are the traditional partners we have, even when you move into the cloud, when you say that, okay, if I move into the cloud, what about my investments which I made? Today we have that's the new set of partners that we call it as a service provider partners. We have 5,400 plus cloud partners already offering their services on VMware technology. Today some of the renowned names are over there. This is the Magic Quadrant released by Gartner. So the first is on the virtualization, where they said clearly the VMware is the only company on the leadership quadrant. So in terms of the technology and in terms of the ability to execute our vision, that's where they rated us much ahead of our competitors. This was done in our previous release of the vSphere, that's a vSphere 4.1. Now the last month we released the new vSphere 5, which I will talk about a little bit as we move forward. And clearly here the Gartner has mentioned in terms of how we are articulating our virtualization story and helping our customers in their journey to the cloud. So we are not saying that, okay, you virtualize, tomorrow when you move into the cloud, it's a different technology. This is a journey. So this is the first step you take virtualization and how our products and the solutions stack up for our customers in moving them to the cloud. When it comes to the cloud operators or the cloud service providers, obviously VMware is not in the business of service provider business. So that we took what is Gartner's report on the cloud service provider, whom they rated as the leaders. The leaders are Savvis, AT&T, Rackspace, Verizon, and Terramont. These are the leaders globally. And today, I'm very glad to say here that all the 5 whom are in the leadership quadrant, they use VMware technology in offering their cloud services. They use the complete stack of the VMware cloud products in offering their services. Now let's just take a couple of minutes in terms of defining the cloud. So here I'm not using what VMware says is a cloud. We have taken the definition of National Institute of Standards and Technology, how they are defining the cloud, what it should be, how it looks like, what are the various models that are available. So in their definition they say that the deployment model can be a public, private or community or hybrid cloud. Today the misnomer in the market, I'm sure most of you would have attended the various session, or when you talk about the cloud, we immediately jump, okay, cloud means it's a public cloud. So that's the thing we do. No, the deployment model can be a private cloud, it can be a community cloud. What are the delivery options available over there? It can be an infrastructure as a service. You may consume the cloud only for your infrastructure. You have your application and data. You just go and say, okay, what are the additional infrastructure I want in terms of computing, storage, networking, I will go and use the cloud infrastructure as a service. It may be, again, when I say you go and use it, need not necessarily be the public, maybe in your data center, you just only the infrastructure as a service you provide. That's a private cloud as infrastructure service. Or it can be a platform as a service where a development platform is offered as a service. You go and use them to get your application developed or modernized and deployed. So that's a platform as service, second deployment model. Or it can be a software as service. I don't want to do anything, I just wanted a software. I just want a mailing solution. I just go to the cloud or go to my private cloud and only consume those services. Or the classic example over here is a CRM application, that's a salesforce.com. Today you don't need to have any infrastructure or the application or development. You go to the public cloud or the salesforce.com, you get your applications or you can get your software. So these are the three different deployment models that can be possible. What are the characteristics? That's very, very important. So I already have a data center, I already have my computing, I am already running it. What is the cloud offers me? What are its typical characteristics has to be? One is very clear, it should have a resource pooling. So I should be able to pool my resources and share it across multiple customers or the multiple departments or multiple users or multiple applications, so that I get the economy or the benefits of the additional resources that are available. The second is, it has to be elastic. That's a very, very key component or characteristics, I would say, of the cloud, because that's where I get the benefit. When I have some additional requirement, I should be able to scale up. Maybe if festive time I want additional resources to do my billing, or at the end of the year I want to do some number crunching, so I need some additional resources. I should be able to go and consume them. When I'm through, I should be able to get out of it. I should shrink my computing needs. And it should be measured services. So unless service you measure, you can't go and compare it, or you can't go and see what's the benefit that comes in. Broad network access, that's obvious, because you are on the internet or you are accessing over the broadband, so it has to be a broad net. And the last one characteristic is, it should be an on-demand self-service. It should be available when I need it. It should be available on demand, and I should not rely on others, it should be a self-service. So these are the 5 clear, or I won't say clear, it's the main characteristics which NIST has defined for the cloud. So today if you look at it, if I go by, okay, this is the standard of a cloud, I'm glad to again to say only VMware addresses all the 3 deployment models we talked about it. We will see what are the products in each category we have and how you can go and deploy all 3 types of cloud models in your enterprise. True pooling, see that is our strength. The resource pooling we talked about, that's what basically the virtualization provides you. Whether you move into the cloud with other characteristics, you start with virtualization so that you will be able to pool your resources which are lying across the multiple services, so that you will be able to get maximum usage of it. So that's the basic fundamentals of the virtualization, and also we say clearly virtualization is the first step towards the cloud. And we support all the models, whether you want to set up a public cloud, as I showed you some of the cloud service provider like Amazon or Google or the Terramark who have set up their public cloud services using VMware Cloud. And we have a lot of our enterprise customers who are already set up their private clouds using the VMware stack. Now let's move on to this is what the standard definition. Let's move on how VMware addresses or how our products or solutions stacks up to meet all the 3 layers or the 3 vectors which we talked about it. So this is a typical scenario today. You have your existing data center, you have your existing applications. I'm sure that none of us would like to shut down the data center because cloud is offering the better benefits or the economy of scale or the cost benefit. We will move overnight to the cloud. That's not going to happen. You should be able to see how I can transform my infrastructure so that I can get the same benefits of the private or the public cloud. On this we have the stack, the cloud infrastructure stack. And as I said, the first fundamental thing in terms of transforming your existing infrastructure into the cloud is clearly the virtualization. That's what the Gartner says clearly, that virtualization is a modernization catalyst, unlocks the cloud computing. So you pull your resources, all your applications, you convert it to the virtual machines, so that then you have the flexibility or the agility to move those virtual machines wherever you want, within your data center or within the private and public cloud. So that's where when you move between the private and public cloud, you end up having the hybrid cloud environment. So on this layer we have 4 family of products, which I will get into the vSphere. All of you might have used or might have heard about it, which is our flagship product, which does the virtualization. Here when I talk about virtualization, it's not the basic hypervisor we are talking about. The hypervisor today I would say has become a commodity. Today there are multiple hypervisors are available in the market, which are free downloads are available, and maybe a low cost hypervisors available, which can do the basic virtualization. But what we need to look at it is that how I can virtualize and have other features like vMotions or the high availability and the disaster recovery, or not only the virtualizing my server, but how I can go into the storage and network virtualization, and how I can link it to my applications. So those are the additional extra features that you need to look at it when you go in for the vSphere. You will be getting it when you go for the vSphere. Resource pooling, you will be able to schedule your workloads. Okay. And the second one is the vShield, which is our security product range. When you go into the virtual environment, the paradigm of security totally changes. Because all these days we secured our physical servers, we secured our network, we secured our edge, gateway security we have put it up. But in a virtual environment, you don't know where your application, where your virtual machines are running, which physical server. So that's the basic benefits of the virtualization. So you can, your VM can be running on a particular server today, because when there is an additional resource available on the next server, it automatically moves in there to make use of that. So in a virtual environment where your computing happens like that, there is no point in just having a physical security alone. That's where the vShield comes. There are three flavors of the vShield. One is at the VM level, where we go and protect in terms of defining the security policies and access control. The next is at the application level. Next is at the edge level. So there are three layers of security you will be able to define in your virtual environment. So once you define your security policies at the virtual machine level, it doesn't matter where the virtual machine runs, whether in your data center or in a public cloud or in a different server. Wherever your VM moves, the security policies moves along with that. Similarly, the application level, you go and define depending on the application what kind of security policies you want to have. When I say edge level, maybe within your data center you want to have multiple virtual data center. Maybe a group of applications you want to do, or a group of people who are accessing certain set of applications, you can go and define these policies. So here we work with our technology alliance partners like Symantec and Trend Micro. So when I say vShield as a security solution, it doesn't replace the physical security or the other security offerings that are coming from Symantec and Trend Micro. It coexists with their solutions. If I say these are the two product ranges which talks about the plumbing in your data center, because you virtualize, you do the resource pooling, you go and define the security policies, it's more of the IT department's job. So it's more of a plumbing at the data center which we do. The third product is the vCloud Director, which is the end user facing product, which is nothing but a dashboard which gives for the users. It gives the access to your data center where they can come and define, do the self-service of what kind of servers they want. What's the memory, what's the storage, and what's the CPU power they need for their server to run their application. They can do the self-provisioning over that. And it has the policy and reporting and self-services, which you can do on the vCloud Director. And the latest version, which we support the virtual data center. So in environment, it may be not a single data center. You want to have multiple virtual data center, depending on the group of application. Typical example here, it may be a banking. Your bank runs both corporate and the retail banking. They may like to group their corporate banking applications and the data into the single data center. They can go and create a virtual data center because where all your corporate banking application runs. Because the people who access the security policies, the resource requirements totally different. So you can define. Then you can create another virtual data center where you run your retail banking application. And maybe you can create a third virtual data center where you run your test and dev, other web servers or whatever you want to play around with. So you can go and define, create multiple virtual data center, create your self-service catalog. So the people who wants to, the end users, if it's a private cloud, the end user department who wants to come and consume some of their services, there is a service catalog already published. They can go and access those services what they want. And it's completely built on the IT analytics, which is the set of products which are there. So this is a vCloud Director, helps in terms of orchestrating your cloud. You set up your cloud and then you can do the cloud orchestration with the vCloud Director, and also it comes with chargeback product. I'm sure here most of you may not like to charge it back to the individual department, but still you can do the notional charge to see how much each department are consuming, which is a characteristic which are talked about it in terms of the measured services. So if a sales department consumes CRM application or there's some database, some messaging solution, you can clearly say I go and measure and notionally charge them what is that they are using it. So there's a responsibility comes into the end user departments also in terms of what the application they are requesting, how much IT or resources they are consuming. You will be able to measure it clearly. Then fourth set of products is management suite. We talked about it's a complete virtual environment. I'm sure all of us know kind of a chaos we have when we have clearly defined physical servers or that, multiple servers and multiple networks like how we manage. Just imagine what will be the situation when it comes to the virtual environment, where the users are allowed to create their virtual machine, maybe a test and they will run it, create it, use it for 1 month and then leave it. So which leads to the virtual machine sprawl, VM sprawl we call it. How do you go and control it? That's where our vCenter products comes in managing your virtual environment. And also it does the performance analysis, how your VMs are performing, is there any lag, so that you can go and set or you can go and take corrective actions. And also on the capacity, not only it does the reactive management, you can do the proactively, you can go and see how the VMs are using the resources, what is the trend analysis. So it can give you the forewarning in terms of when in the next 1 week this VM is going to run out of memory space, so that you will be able to take a corrective action in terms of allocating additional memory. You need not go and buy a new server. In a virtual machine you can go and allocate additional memory over there. You can do the configuration for the compliance control. So all the things what you are doing is the vCenter management suite which helps you on that. So in a nutshell, these are the 4 family of products which we have got, which helps you to transform your existing data center in a cloud ready or a cloud infrastructure. Let's move into the hybrid cloud model. Today we have set up the private cloud, maybe as we said, maybe a cloud infrastructure you transform, but at the same time there is a public cloud available which gives you the better economy of a scale. Or we talked about the elasticity. When you have certain seasonal demand coming up, you would like to have some additional computing resources. How I can go to the public cloud and I can consume it and come back. Always we will look at those options, or some of my non-critical applications, how I can move it into the public cloud. So there's a study which was done which among all our customers, 1,000 top customers, we took their feedback in terms of how they are going to adopt their public cloud. The result was amazing. Can you guess what is the percentage of the workloads the customers told that they will move into the public cloud? Any guess? Over the next 3 years' time. Come on guys, I know it's after lunch, but still, just take a wild guess. Today we are running, we know that public cloud is going to offer the better economy of scale, that my resource cost is going to come down, flexibility, agility, all these things it's going to offer. But still, what would be you think that percentage of the workloads customers will move into the public cloud next 3 years? 50%. Pardon? 50%. 50. Yeah. Almost you got it, but only it's 15%, 1-5. It's a top enterprise customer, they said clearly was only 15% we should be able to move into the public cloud. Maybe a security, compliance, management, and maybe our existing data center investment application, reasons are multiple. So the hybrid cloud offers that flexibility in terms of moving your applications. As I said, with your initial defined security policies, you can run it over there. If I do that, still as an IT department, as a CIO, I would like to have the control on my applications. I would like to be able to manage those applications wherever it lies. So that's why, for you to do that, what is that you need? You should have common platform, common management, common security policies. Within your cloud or your data center where you are running your applications onto the public cloud service provider. That's exactly VMware, the vCloud Director and the vShield product offers. So with the vCloud Director, as long as your private cloud and your service provider's cloud are running on the vCloud Director, you will be able to manage the applications and the data as if they are running in your data center. Or in other words, it will be your cloud which is running in your data center and expanding into the public cloud. So on this, we already have some top names who have adopted this vCloud data center services. They are offering it. So today, if you move your applications between your data center and these service providers, you will be able to manage it seamlessly. And these are some global names, but even in India, we already have 20 service providers who are signed up with us, offering their cloud services based on VMware. These are the top names like HCL, Wipro, NetMagic, SIFI, you name it, all of them are our customers or our partners now. So that's on the first cloud infrastructure I talked about it. The second layer is the application. So we talked about infrastructure as a service. With the cloud infrastructure product which I talked about it, you'll be able to set up your private cloud or the public cloud, and you'll be able to transform your infrastructure into the cloud infrastructure. The next layer is the applications. It's not that only the infrastructure I'm looking at, that's the first deployment model. What about the application part of it? So if I say that VMware is known for the infrastructure side, which all of you agree, as I said, vSphere is our flagship product, that's where most of our revenue comes, I would admit on that. But now we, through our various series of acquisitions which we have made and our own development of the products, now we have a suite of solutions which helps you to set up your platform as service. We have new frameworks which comes through our acquisitions of SpringSource, which offers a Java-based framework, which is a well-known product among the Java developers. Already 300,000 Java developers are using Spring frameworks, including India. And you can have the platform as service and the data how you will manage in a cloud environment. So on the platform as a service, we already have what is called as a vCloud Factory, which is today available for all the developers, which has got open source tools of Spring framework. It's again an open source framework which is available, which developers and the customers can make use of it in developing their applications. Not only the Spring framework, we are adding up more and more frameworks like Rail and other frameworks which customers can use it to develop their application and make it cloud ready. On this, these are the series of products which we have, as I said, Spring framework and tools, which helps you in terms of modernizing your application. Because as cloud is becoming a reality and the mobility is the key thing now today, so you need to modernize your existing applications. So that's where the Spring framework comes in handy for you. Then when it comes to the data management, so again, in a cloud or environment, the way you manage the data is totally different. The traditional RDBMS may not work because your application may be running in a different environment or in a different cloud, and your data may be still running in your own data center. So you can't afford to have read and write every time when you do the transactions. You may need to have in-memory database. That's what exactly the Gen5 product, which came again through the acquisition of the Gemstone company, which we have acquired, which gives you in-memory database capabilities. It's widely used in highly transaction-oriented enterprises like stockbroking firms, stock exchanges. They use it very widely. Then for messaging, the application messaging, like IBM has got MQ series, we have a product called RabbitMQ, which helps you in terms of messaging your applications. So these are again a new set of tools and products. We call it as a vFabric family, which helps you to modernize your applications and make it cloud ready. The third layer, which is very, very important, which is close to your users' what? This is basically the end user. So today, the end users would like to have the choice of their devices. The days have gone where the IT departments enforces saying that, okay, if you want to run the applications, CRM applications, you need to come to office or you need to have a laptop with a so-and-so version of Windows running on it, then only you'll be able to access. Today, customer says, no, I have my iPad. Can I access my mails? Can I access my applications from my iPad? What about my smartphone? I don't want to have a laptop opening up every time. I want to access my Exchange mails from my iPhone. Today I'm sure that all of us are using an iPhone or Android phone. So the choice of end user devices has moved away from the IT department to the end users. Third one, post-Windows world. I'm sure most of us don't even worry about what is the OS today running on. When I access my Exchange application, I access it from my phone. It runs on a different OS. It doesn't need a Windows. So the customers are moving into the post-Windows environment. SaaS, as I talked about it in the first one, the software as a service. So instead of I go and have my infrastructure and develop my application and maintaining it, if it's available as a service, I might as well go and use it. So here, as I said, it's basically the applications are moving from native devices to any devices. So IT department need to modernize their applications so that they can deliver it to the device of end user's choice. And this would have, the concern here is that the security part of it. Though I am accessing it from any devices, at the same time, I need to secure my applications. So what we have got here is the View product with the sorry, it's a slightly old slide, so it says 4.5. Now a couple of weeks back we launched View 5.0, the next version. So which does the desktop virtualization. You can have your virtual desktop from created and hosted in your data center. Then end users can access their desktops from any device they want. Whether it's a Windows or Linux, we can do the desktop virtualization. And recently we announced the support for the iPad. So what it means, if I have my iPad, I can have the same desktop experience what I have here on my iPad. I can access my desktop with all my applications, with my wallpaper, with my security policies defined over there. So that's other thing which we have launched is the Horizon, which basically the application is the App Blast, which we recently announced it. So you can go and put a service catalog, or you can go and post your applications. It works the same way. Just to make it easier, it works in the same way today your App Store is working in your iPad. You can create your App Store, your enterprise App Store, so the end users can come and click on one of the applications they want and they can run it from there. So that's the product we announced. And another initiative which we have done, what we have done at the server and the desktop virtualization, now we initiated an R&D. I would say it's an R&D initiative. It's not shaped up as a product. It's an MVP. It's a mobile virtual platform. What it means is that we are virtualizing the mobile phone. So an employee who walks into an organization, they can come with their own device. Maybe we are now experimenting with the Android first one, and their corporate phone gets delivered onto their mobile phone. So with all the application access and the security policies, etc. So they will be able to access when they move away from the organization. All you need to do is that just cut the link. They get stopped access to all your corporate applications. So that's what we are going with the idea. As I said, it's an R&D initiative which we are doing. So if you really look at it, as we talked about, 3 deployment models, whether it's an infrastructure as a service, or a platform as a service, or an end user computing, that is on the platform, software as a service. On all the 3 layers today, VMware has got a complete stack of products to help you out move into the cloud. We talked about private. It may be, as a customer, you may like to have set up your own private cloud. I don't want to go into the public cloud because of my organization policies or the company policies, security and the management issues. Or still I would like to have my test and dev environment to run into the virtual private cloud or the public cloud I want to run, or I might like to have the right mix of both the things, so I will have the hybrid cloud. So either whichever one we would like to adopt, we have the technology which works for you. But at the end of the things, when you do have all this or the mix of this thing, what we say that it's all about your cloud. So that's the basic differentiation VMware has got compared to the others in the market. We are not talking about when we say cloud, okay, these are the cloud benefits, please move all your assets to my platform. I will run it better and give you the economy of scale. We help our customers to set up your own cloud and you manage it from your data center and you have the complete control on it. So that's the end of my presentation. Thanks a lot.